Well, thank you for joining me on rather a chilly April morning. And today I'm going to be looking at eucalyptus. And I've got some plants here in the garden I'm going to show you. There's some little jobs to do. And I've got a few varieties growing here that I'll take you around and show you. And then we'll go inside and have a look at some ideas for floral design using eucalyptus. I've started a newsletter, so if you'd like to subscribe to my newsletter, there's a link down below, and you can click on that and subscribe to the newsletter. So anyway, eucalyptus, let's get started. So I know I'm supposed to be talking about eucalyptus, but I've got my plants growing underneath a birch tree, and I just wanted to just point out the birch tree. It's got no leaves on the trees, and birch is quite a popular sort of foraged plant material that people use for weddings, but it's April now, and as you can see, there's no leaves on the trees. But birch isn't available in April, and so it looks fantastic in May and June if you've got a wedding then, and you live in a sort of a northern temperate region. But birch is absolutely fantastic, but it has quite a short season of availability, and that's why I like eucalyptus, because it's evergreen, so you can pick it 12 months of the year, and it grows all over the world, and if you don't grow it, you can buy it, so it's very readily available, all over the world, and for 12 months of the year. So I think it's worth looking at for that reason. But I noticed somebody was sort of talking about birch and that, and saying, oh well, if you can't get birch, you can just use eucalyptus. But birch and eucalyptus aren't interchangeable. They're different. They look different. And so I thought we'd just look at that today as well. So I think if you're going to base a design around eucalyptus, you can't just take a design that uses birch and just substitute eucalyptus. I don't think it'll work. So that was something I really wanted to look about. Anyway, so there's some lovely birch there, but no, it's April is not available yet. So and it will start to go over in sort of late summer. It will start to get autumn tones, so the colour of it will change in sort of August, September time. So right, I'll just show you my little collection of eucalyptus trees. So this is the first one I wanted to show you. This is Eucalyptus Nicolei, and this is absolutely my favourite eucalyptus, and I would say if there's one you're going to grow, this is the one to grow. It's really good for weddings, and if you've not got a wedding, you can use it in bouquets, all year long. It's a really lovely one. It is available to buy commercially, but it's not as available as the other ones, so it's a little bit more difficult to get. It's suffered a little bit we had some snow, and it's burnt the leaves a little bit, but it is hardy. And if you can see here, it's got these the leaves are this sort of bluey grey colour, but there's these different sort of reddish tones here, so it's more interesting colour to work with. So it's really worth having one of these in the garden, or even in the patio as a pot. You just all year long you'll be able to use it in designs. It's a really good one to grow. So that's Nicolei there. So this one here is Eucalyptus, I think it's Cinerea it's called, and just to say that these are the juvenile leaves on the plant. This is the fresh new growth, so you have to cut it back every year, or every couple of years, to keep these little sort of round leaves. So I've got this growing here up on a little stem about 2 or 3 foot tall, and then I'll cut that back every spring to keep these nice young leaves coming. And just in terms of comparing it to birch, just it has these long straight stems, so it's nothing like birch at all, is it? But birch is sort of got branching stems. So on eucalyptus, on these ones you get these long tall stems. So Cinerea, it's got this typical sort of blue grey colour, but the thing about it to notice is it's got quite they're quite big leaves. It's not a dainty, delicate little one, so I wouldn't really want to see that in a bouquet for a bride's bouquet. It's a bit too chunky, but you know, for a nice big arrangement, that's quite good. So that's scenario there. I've got another one over here, so I don't actually know what this one's called. I'm afraid it's got a little bit of frost there, but this has got much smaller, pretty. It's more delicate, but a bit more of a green one. And over here, this is Nicolei, which is, you know, this is a really common one. It's very widely available in garden centres to buy, it's got the, you know, it's got the classic grey leaves, and the leaves are a little bit smaller, and it's quite a sort of a metallic-y grey, I would say, but it's got, you know, it's got some nice colour in the stems as well. It's not just grey, and these new ones, you know, it's quite dainty, delicate little foliage, but it's spring now, so this needs to be cut right back to encourage some new growth. So I'm going to do that shortly. I've got a few more little plants just around the corner. I'll show you. And so I've got another 3 or 4 plants growing around the corner here, and another very popular one for sale is called Parvee. And I don't know if this is Parvee because I've lost the labels, but this has sort of just green leaves, not the silver grey, and quite nice small ones. Just looking at these lovely sort of reddish brown shoots on the new growth as well. So that's, I think that's Parvee, or it's quite similar to Parvee. But when you look at the stems on these, what I find interesting is you get different colours on the stems, not just the grey leaves. And I've got this one here, and I really don't know what this is. It's a Parvee type, but it's really got a lot of red in it. And eucalyptus, you know, it's great at Christmas, for Christmas decorations, to have some of this. So I've always thought this would look really lovely at Christmas with these red stems. I've got another one here with quite small leaves, but I think really, especially for weddings and bouquets, really the Nicolei is by far the best one. If you can only grow one eucalyptus, I would say to grow the Nicolei. But so lots of different varieties to choose from, and you can't buy these, you know, from the wholesalers. You would have to grow these yourselves. But they're hardy plants. They grow in temperate regions, and yeah, very easy to grow. And just to say that if you live, you know, closer to the equator, in in hotter, drier climates, you'll be able to grow these much better than, obviously you're not going to be able to grow birch if you live in a Mediterranean country or the southern states of the United States, or Australia even, which is where this comes from. So this is a much more appropriate plant to grow if you live in a hotter, drier climate. So these are the eucalyptus prunings laid out on the bench. You can see them a bit more clearly, the different kinds of leaves. And so this is the Nicolei, and this is the one that I really recommend if there's just one you're going to get to grow in the garden. It's a lovely small tree, and these beautiful little leaves, they're really useful all year long. You can keep picking it, so it's a really good one. And I've actually bought another plant here. You know, it's just so useful, and I can't get enough of it really. But this is the new young growth. It's been grown in a polytunnel, and it lovely soft, beautiful, lovely leaves. You could, you know, use those so many different ways. And this is the Nicolei, which is very widely available in garden centres, and it has these tiny, small, little round leaves, and sort of quite metallic grey with a bit of blue in it. And this is the one, I'm going to say it's Parvee. I don't know if it is, but Parvee is very much like this, with these small green leaves, and it's got these reddish tips at the moment. But I can't really see what the point of that is, to be honest. It's just green, isn't it? You might as well have some pittosporum or something. You know, there are loads of things with little small green leaves. So I don't really quite understand why that is so widely used in the trade. I don't really understand that, but I mean, it's useful enough to have. And this is the one I can't pronounce. I think it's called Cinerea or Cinera, and it has sort of bigger leaves than the Nicolei, and it's a softer, bluer. It's just a slightly different colour, but it quite, long pieces there, long stems, and quite big leaves. So I don't think that's quite widely available from the wholesalers, but I don't really quite understand how you would use that. So for a big piece, if you were doing a big arrangement, that would be useful. And then I've got some other ones here, and I don't actually know, I'm afraid I don't know what the names of them are, but it's just to say that they're different shades of green and grey. They're all sort of slightly different, and this one's got these sort of slightly pointed leaves, so just makes some difference. And this one, I'm sorry, I don't know what it is, but it's got nice sort of oval leaves, so all different colours, lots of choice there in eucalyptus. So really worth growing as a garden plant, as long as you keep cutting it back every year, and it produces all this evergreen foliage. So really useful plant. And so now I'm going to have a look what else I've got and try and do a little design with these clippings. Really, sort of waste material. So I've assembled all my plant material here. I've got the smaller leaved eucalyptus, some blackthorn there, and purple pittosporum here. I've picked a bit more of the viburnum. I've got loads of the blackthorn there, and the grey hazel catkins from last week. I've got some more of those, and some dried plant material that I've just picked out of the garden. So it does look a little bit sort of light on flowers somehow, but so I think it's going to be a mainly sort of foliage kind of thing. But I do like this looks really nice with the blackthorn and the Nicolei eucalyptus. So anyway, here goes. I'm going to have a go at putting that together. Right, so I had some feedback from people who said they'd like to see me actually doing the design live, so I'm going to have a go. I apologise for the noise. I'm quite sort of conscious of how noisy it is here, but anyway, so I'm going to have a go. Now I found this nice container which I think will work quite well with the foliage. And just to say before I start, I've got a nice bit of wire here, and when I'm finished, or if I need to stop, I've got the wire. I can just tie the bouquet with the wire. So here we go. So a lovely bit of blackthorn there, and I just thought that would make it's sort of it looks like a sort of a tree shape, doesn't it? And also I've got this Nicolei there, and I sort of thought that would make a good place to start, to try and put those together in the middle somehow. And I've got lots of this lovely pittosporum there. And it's a good idea to keep cutting it, to keep the young growth. It won't grow back from old wood, so it's quite a good idea to keep chopping it back so that you've got nice material to keep picking. So okay, so this is the idea anyway. This is where I'm kind of going with this. So looks like it's going to be a big sort of wild naturalistic thing going on here. So there we are. So there's a nice sort of round shape and big, sort of lots of movement there, and the blackthorn's just really beautiful at the moment. There's so much of it about. I just keep putting it. I'm just not really sort of thinking about it too much, just going for a nice relaxed sort of free-form kind of style. Nice relaxed, very sort of natural and wild look. There we are. These are all turning out into a really big display, and the thing is that the blooms are all the way along the stems, so it's nice. This open design allows us to see all the blooms all the way down the stem. So there we are. That's I love these catkins. I love these tactile, lovely soft quality to it. So that's nearly it, really. I just keep popping these in, and I'm not sort of going to fiddle about with it too much and try to get it exactly perfect. because it is supposed to look, you know, it's quite wild and natural, and you know, I've been out around the country lately in something bike, and this just sort of feels really, really natural. Where shall I put that? Stick that up there. Just really enjoying all the, you know, all the beautiful plant material that's available, just growing around me. There we are. Probably needs a little bit of fiddling about, but it's just gonna have to be how it is. So I'm sorry about the noise again, especially up the road outside. But there we are. There it is. So now I'm gonna dress this with these will go in as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie it now and put it down and rest my hands, and then I'm going to come back and finish it off with a few other bits, and hopefully there'll be a little bit less noise. But I'm quite pleased with that. That's a lovely big wild bouquet with blackthorn. Right, so now I've secured the bouquet with a bit of wire and then some twine, just so I can sort of relax a little bit more. And these bits, because they're dried, they don't need, obviously they don't need to go in water, so there's a bit of a gap there. So I'm just going to fill that up with these dried bits, just to this doesn't work. Let's try and pop that in there. That's it. These are going to go quite deep into the design. There we are. So and they're picking out the colours there with the eucalyptus stems as well. So they came very handy out of the garden. I'm glad I hadn't tidied them up. And that's all of those. So that's more or less finished really. Now I've got a few little bits of viburnum as well. They've got quite short stems, so I can't really place them in the middle. I don't think the stems will reach through. Perhaps this one will. I think we'll just try to get some of those in there as well. Yeah, this to me, this would make a lovely sort of gift bouquet. If you wanted to present that at a function or something, to make a presentation, it'd make a really big impact if you presented, wrapped that up in a bit of tissue paper and presented that to someone. It really creates a big impact. If it was a gift for somebody, it would look really nice. So I'm just using up these final little bits of the viburnum tinus, and that will be it. That's it. So all quite quite sort of muted colours really, with this the purple and the dried things there, but really big, impressive, impactful bouquet, and nice sort of subtle colours, and I think if you gave that someone as a gift, that would really really be nice thing to. So I'd enjoy that anyway. I just enjoy all the foliage and the sort of naturalness of it. So I'm just going to sort of fiddle about with it a little bit. That's more or less finished there, yeah. So there it is, all finished, and just to say, when I put it in the vase, I did tuck a few extra bits at the front, some just leftover bits of viburnum and what have you. But there it is. And I like the way that it's done quite sort of spontaneously and freely, without too much sort of worry about placing everything in exactly the right place, and so a nice sort of wild celebration of what's growing at the moment. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Do keep in touch. I've got a link down in the comments where you can sign up for my newsletter, and that would be great. Thank you for watching.